World by Michael Jackson. Time check is 36 minutes past the hour of 7. Good morning. Good morning, Malabites and Malabresses. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, friends and foes. Good morning, mummies and daddies. You are tuned into Unico 103.5 FM, the only station that offers you the best of education, information, and of course, entertainment 360. We love to call it a do infotainment. Today is a beautiful Thursday morning right here in the beautiful city of Calabar. Today's date is the 25th of June 2026. We just have 5 more days to go before we call it a wrap in the month of June 2026. How are you feeling this morning? It's a beautiful day. In as much as outside the weather's very cloudy, it's more like it's about to rain any minute. If you're outside, I would advise that you look for a shade right now because the rain might come any moment from now. And of course, I don't want you to be drenched. So ensure that when you're leaving your house, go out with an umbrella, with a raincoat, anything that keeps you protected from the rain. Ensure that you step out of your house with it. But hey, how are you doing this morning? It's a new day, it's a new opportunity at life. How are you feeling? How did you sleep as well? Did you have a beautiful night's rest? Did you sleep well last night? Let us know. Did you wake up on the good side of the bed or you woke up on the wrong side of the bed? Because it's always important to wake up on the right side of the bed. Every time, every day, it's always important to wake up on the right side of the bed because if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, anybody that comes in contact with you that day is going to have a very bad day because you're going to exert your anger on the person. So ensure that you try as much as possible every time to wake up on the good side of the bed. My name is Vine Henshaw. They call me Spice of the Airwaves, and I'm your morning companion right here on the Morning Bus Show on Unico Radio International 103.5 FM Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. My job is very simple. I'm here to escort you as you get through your day, whether you're going to work, going to school, going for an errand, or you're just chilling at home. I'm here to give you the best of education, information, and of course, entertainment right here on the Morning Boss Show. Like you already know, I don't do this alone. I do this with the amazing Obi Thompson, and together we're going to ensure that we give you the best of education, information, and of course, entertainment 360. Good morning, Thompson, and welcome on the show. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm fine, Vine. Good morning, Vine. Good morning, Malabites and Malabreses. Good morning to our technical team. Good morning to our very listeners all over the world. It's such a beautiful time to be here. Thank God is it Thursday? Oh, thank God it's Thursday.
It's Thursday now. I've said Thursday like how many times now? It's
Oh my
Thursday.
goodness. So unarguably we have just a couple of days. And
Five
we'll be
days, and we're
saying
saying goodbye to June.
goodbye to the month of June. It's such a beautiful moment and experiences. Just like you said, sometimes a lot of persons wake up and you'll be like, come on, man, I'm not feeling too okay.
I
I'm
was
not feeling
supposed to
too.
wake up on the wrong side of the bed
Nah,
today.
please. I think that has to do with mindset. I come back
It's
again.
not mindset. Let me give you the gist. It's not
Okay.
mindset.
Tell
I
us.
was on my own, no,
Mm-hmm.
just enjoying my sleep. Around I think 4:30 or 5:30 thereabouts. Guess what happened?
Okay.
An ant from nowhere.
Stinked.
It just stung my back for no reason, unprovoked. I was on my own minding my business. And from that time, from I think it was 5:30, from 5:30 till 6:30, I was uneasy. I was scratching. I used ice.
You
I
are
used
lucky. You're
petroleum
lucky that it
jelly.
was
I
just
used
your
a lot
back
of, oh God have mercy.
that it stinks your
Jesus
back.
Christ.
What about if it stinks your lips?
Huh?
Your lips.
How we want to reach there? Like from where to where? I think I would even notice
Or even
if
your ear.
like it was such a terrible experience. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. There's nothing I did not do. Just trying to abate the pain. But unfortunately, not as I speak to you right now, I still feel the pain right here at my back. But I mean, I still try to be happy. I still try to radiate happiness because I cannot allow something as inconsequential as an ant to
Yeah.
ruin my day.
Just like I usually believe that everything that happens to a man, it's about the mindset. You could
Okay.
decide to be angry. You could decide to start your day being sad. You could decide to spice up the day with any little thing. Like sometimes I just wake up and I'll be like, I have leftover something I need to eat in the morning before leaving, or take something, or just make a little quick, stuffs like that. And then before you know it, boom, I just remember I finished it last night, and I'll be like,
How
will
did
I
you
have
finish
to?
it last night and you don't remember? Like how
Yeah,
is it that you
it's usually like that. But
is
sometimes
it
I'll be
old
like,
age, Abby? What is it? Because how is it that you ate
no,
the last
it be
portion
like it
and
be
you're not
like
staying with anybody? You're staying on in that house by yourself. You're not staying with
no.
somebody.
Sometimes they just be like, like, I think I just have something, like, but not knowing that you literally, I didn't literally did not eat last night before even sleeping. And sometimes I feel like, okay, I just ate before sleeping, but I forgot that, oh, I didn't eat. Maybe because I just need to accomplish a task and then submit because of deadline, or just try to accomplish a task and all of that. And then just boom, you go to the kitchen and you realize that, oh man, you still have some food left. I'll be like, okay, I think let me just do one or two and all of that. And sometimes you just wake up, I don't have the strength to say, oh, let me go and warm something and all of that. So, man, it's usually very terrible, usually very, but it's about the mindset. So, if you give yourself to that perceptions that you just need to start your day sad, trust me, it's going to be that way. But you just need to spice up yourself and say, look, I just need to have a good day. But most importantly is the fact that you just need to understand that, look, you just need to pray, right? You just need to sing song at any time you feel somehow like this. Just sing that favorite song of yours. Think about that favorite artist. Think about that favorite scriptures that usually spice the day. By now, I should
So
expect that as young
who's your
persons.
favorite artist to listen to when you want to spice up your day?
For me, oh my
Yes.
goodness, just play me Akanchawa, play me what's this guy's name? Prince Chuku,
You
just play me Christian, or
you cannot
probably I just need to play my hymns,
you
from my
cannot be
church.
serious.
Trust me, I just have the best of the day. I have good tracks of music, and then if I want to just
Good
get it
is
all right,
relative.
look
Good
at
is
it.
relative.
I go with how do they call it? The blues. Celine Dion, Westlife. I go with all of those guys because I have a lot and a lot and a lot, that really spice up my
Sometimes
day, and it makes me feel so happy
I
about it.
ask myself what planet you're coming from. Like
Trust me,
I'm trying so hard to
from heaven
fathom.
to earth. You remember that song they used to say, "He comes from heaven to earth
I
to
think yours
show the
is
way."
from Mars to Earth, or maybe from Jupiter to Earth. Probably.
Certainly, it should be from another planet entirely.
Anyway, how are you guys doing this morning? Like I said, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday morning. We are slowly going to the weekend again. And I
Mm-hmm.
like it that this week has been really fast. I mean, it's Thursday just now. We just did
Yeah.
Monday how many days ago? And it's Thursday already. So how are you feeling? How is your day going already? What are you up to as well? Are you already making food? Are you already on your way to work, on your way to school? I've come to realize that we cross variants or people in Calabar, people that are residing in Calabar, they are not morning people. I've come to realize that, and I have come to live with it because sometimes you go out of your house and it's, let's say, 6 o'clock or 6:30, and no
Shops
single
are
shop is
closed.
open.
Everywhere is just as
No
if
single
they are
shop is
on,
open.
declared a curfew and all of that. Like,
Honestly.
seriously. But I think maybe all of them goes to Uranyiso at Mariam.
Because it's so annoying and
Yeah,
frustrating.
they
Like
go
you
over
would
there to go and
wake up
make
and,
some.
and think that okay, people are supposed to be business minded and come out early to start their day, but you go out around 6:30, sometimes even 7 o'clock, and you cannot find any shop open.
Yeah.
But outside this Calabar, it's not done like that anywhere else. By 5 o'clock,
By
people are
5,
already
man, people are
opening
already
their
awake
shops
and all of
and
this.
doing their businesses.
Yeah, I usually, back then when I was having a shop dealing on hair, I usually believe on these perceptions that punctuality is the soul of our business. And that is just a fact about it. Do you
Hmm.
understand? So when you open, a lot of persons just want to come get something very early. And that's the reason why, for me, I literally don't have to go about looking for where to get stuffs in the morning. What I just do is get all my stuffs in the evening
Yes.
against morning. So you don't need to go and start knocking on somebody's. I see a lot of persons, especially neighborhood, you go and be knocking on your door. Some,
Sometimes you now make
please
these
wake
these
up.
vendors feel like they are indispensable. You make
Do
them
you
feel like they are
understand?
gods, and
Yeah,
they give you an attitude. Whereas you're helping them, if you're being honest, because you can
yeah,
just carry that money and go somewhere else and
yeah.
buy. And it annoys me so much when some vendors do that thing where they just feel like they are some demigods that you have to beg them or try to pacify them to buy. Are you
But
serious?
you need to
No,
pacify
I
them,
would not. I would. That's the last thing I would ever
or
do.
else you go back and stay hungry.
Okay, something happened when I was coming. I was waiting for a cab. That's why I
Okay.
was late. I was waiting for a cab, and this cab came and stopped where I was standing.
Yeah.
And I now told him main gate,
Mm.
and he did not answer me. I said it the second time, he was silent. Then after like a few seconds, he now goes, "Oh yeah, enter now. Me, I'll carry my stomach inside that cab. You must be really silly. You must
No,
be
so
really,
I think
really
at that point
silly."
in time, he was trying to, calculate his mind,
He
to
should
find out
just calculate and be going.
whether he wants to actually use through that side or not. It's just like if you're coming from Main Avenue, a lot of them want to, if you're coming from Ekbobasi precisely, a lot of them
Mm.
want to use either Goldie or Main Avenue axis. So, and then when you even get to Main Avenue, a lot of them will now come and turn and say they want to use Main Gate,
Mm.
instead of using Maurice Lesser and all of that. So
Yeah.
it's as sometimes I used to look at, okay, where will I pick passengers and where will I have passengers on time and all of that. So that's the reason why sometimes they used to contemplate and all of that.
You
So
can do anything, but don't give me the silence treatment. I'm not boarding your
yeah,
cab
but
for
that time,
free.
that point in time, I think they are trying to make decisions as to whether they should use that site, whether they will have to actually get to see passengers or not. So we didn't
Well,
have to blame them.
well, he just drove off because I'm not in that. I'm not in that head. I don't do that nonsense. I do like he was not like, "Oh yeah, enter now." I just removed my phone. I was pressing. I don't do that nonsense, honestly. But anyway, let us know what your day is looking like already. Time check is 4 to 7 minutes past the hour of 7. Let us know what you're doing. Are you on your way to work? On your way to school? Are you on your way to your markets places? Like I said, Calabar people, they are not morning people. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that some people are yet to open their shops. They are yet to even wake up from the bed,
yeah.
prepared to even go to the shop. So I'm pretty sure that lots of shops are still very, very much closed. But let us know what you're up to this morning. The phone line to call is 0809 I will take that again. 0809 You can send an SMS to that number or send a WhatsApp message to that same number and we'll take it right here on the show. Let us know what your day is looking like. We want to talk to you this morning. Ensure that you get your calls and your text messages across to us. Are you having breakfast as well? Let us know what you are having this morning. 0809 I'll take that again. 0809 You can send an SMS to that number or send a WhatsApp message to that same number and we'll take it right here on the show. Since today is Thursday, we're going to push play to Michael Bublé. This one says, "Feeling Good," one of my favorite songs of all time. Ensure that you enjoy this beautiful music and stay very close to your radio sets because we'll be back before you know it. It's still the Morning Bus Show right here on Unico Radio International, 103.5 FM. Enjoy. Said earlier today is the throwback episode of the Morning Bus Show, and we had to push play to that song. Like I said, it's one of my favorite songs of all time. Welcome back from that music break. Time check is 52 minutes past hour of 7, and it's still the Morning Bus Show right here on Unico Radio International, 103.5 FM Calabar, across River State, Nigeria. My name remains Vine Henshaw, and I also have Obi Thompson right here in the studio. And before the break, we're asking what you're up to this morning, what's your day looking like. Let us know 0809 4444058. I'll take that again 0809 4444058. You can send an SMS to that number or send a WhatsApp message to that same number, and we'll take it right here on the show. Now, before we move to the next segment of the show, we have a birthday shout out this morning. So we're going to place a call to the birthday celebrant, and let's hope that she's available to take the call. Okay, let's try that again. Today is the birthday of Mrs. Grace
Grace,
Ibo.
Dr. Mrs.
Dr.
Grace
Mrs. Grace
Ibo.
Ibo.
Yeah, she is the hub mentor of the University of Calabar, and then a very amazing person that has mentored so many of us this in the University of Calabar. Okay, so we just hope to hear her beautiful voice this morning.
What if she's not a morning? Okay, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning,
Good morning.
Unica
Am I
Radio.
okay? Am I speaking with Dr. Grace Ibo?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so a little birdie told me that today is your birthday.
Wow!
Happy
You,
birthday
Unica
to
Radio.
you. Happy
Thank
birthday
you,
to
Rick.
you.
I'm with you.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Now, can you guess
Thank
who?
you.
Can you guess? I think you already know the person, but can you just take a guess who you said we should call you this morning?
Thompson,
He's right here and he's wishing you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama.
thank you, all the team at Unica Radio. Keep doing the good work.
Thank you
and
very
let's
much.
Keep striving
Thank you
to
very
make
much.
Unica shine.
Thank you very much. To enjoy your day, we wish you long life and prosperity. We wish you the very best, good health, everything that you wish yourself today. We wish you even more.
Thank you.
All
I'm
right,
very grateful.
all right. Do
Have
enjoy
a
the rest of
lovely
your
day.
day. All right, thank you. Okay, that was Dr. Gracie Ball, and
Yeah.
we had to wish her happy birthday this morning. Anyway, right now we're moving to the next segment of the show, which is the weather focus segment right here on the show. And like I said, it's threatening to rain this morning. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's already raining by
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but yeah, Calabar is expected to experience a mostly cloudy day with light rain at intervals. Temperatures will remain warm while humidity rather would stay high throughout the day, creating a muggy feel. Rainfall is more likely from the afternoon into the evening.
Yeah.
Now, in the morning from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., temperature will range from 23 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. The rain chance will be around 20 to 40%. Now, the weather conditions, we have mostly cloudy with patches of mist or fog early in the morning. Conditions should remain largely dry, though an isolated light shower could not be ruled out. That explains what we're experiencing this
Yeah.
morning. Now, the tip for the morning is a good time for an outdoor activity, but keep an umbrella handy. Now, in the afternoon from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., temperature will range from 27 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius. The rain chance will be around 60 to 80%. The weather condition will be cloud cover will increase with showers and occasional moderate rain developing. Humidity will make it feel warmer than the actual temperature. Now, the tip for the afternoon is expect possible disruptions to outdoor plans. Waterproof items are advisable. Now, in the evening from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., temperatures will range from 24 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. The rain chance will be around 50 to 70%. The weather condition we have mostly cloudy with lingering light to moderate showers. Roads may remain wet and visibility could be reduced during rainfall. Now, the tip for the evening is expect rain throughout the day, so exercise caution while driving or commuting in rainy conditions. Now, summer we have temperature ranging from 24 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius all through the day. We have rain chance around 60 to 80% overall. Then the general outlook is warm, humid, and mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, especially from afternoon onward. Now, the general advisory is keep an umbrella or raincoat handy and plan outdoor activities for the morning when conditions are expected to be more favorable. And there you have it. That is the weather forecast for you this morning. Ensure that you plan your day accordingly. It's a mistake at this time not to carry an umbrella while leaving your house because the weather can be very, very, very unpredictable.
Yeah, and so that reminds me of a trending video currently circulating on social media where a particular commissioner of police actually went on a tour and then he decided to stop by in one of these police checkpoints. And then he was now questioning those officers on duty, why they were dressing that way. And he said because of rain. So that's the reason why they were dressing that way. He said, okay, because of rain. So let's see your belts, let's see others. But I think where I am practically going to be concentrating on is the rain. Okay, so if it is because of rain, please dress in such a way and manner that people will not run away from you and think, oh, there's something wrong with you. Just put on a flip-flops that at least you could be able to either navigate yourself very easily and all of that. And so we've been saying it all the time. Walk around with your umbrella, stay and just know the necessary or the very basic you know
Junctions,
yeah, junctions or a kind of
bus
places you can
stops.
actually just run to and just so you don't have to be drenched by rain. And then if you know you have any health related issues that you don't need water or rain to pour on you unnecessarily, please let your boss know, let your lecturers know that, oh, I'm not going to walk under this rain because of my health issues and all of that. You should not be ashamed of health. If you hide all of these things, trust me, you're going to hurt yourself at the long run. So please do all you can to stay safe for all of us, because Nigeria, we need you. Don't mind the situation, we need you.
Anyway,
Yeah,
also stay hydrated because as
exactly.
much as it's going to be cloudy, as much as it's going to rain, in the afternoon onward, ensure that you stay hydrated because we live in a very tropical region and humidity is very high. So ensure that you carry your water can, your water bottle, and stay hydrated all the time. Well, that's much can take on the weather focus segment. We're going back to the music. When we come back, we're moving straight to the exchange rate segment, and Obi Thompson will be taking us through that segment of the show. This is Umbrella by Rihanna and Jay Z. Stay very close to your radio set. We'll be back before you know it. that break. Time check is 8 minutes past the hour of 8, and it's your the morning bus show right here on Unico 103.5 FM, the only station that offers you the best of education, information, and of course, entertainment 360. We love to call it a do infotainment. And right now, we're moving straight to another exciting segment of the show, which is the exchange rate segment. And of course, Obi Thompson will take us through that segment of the show. Thompson, let's have it.
Okay, so right away this morning, before you think of going to eat eba, or you want to go and make something for the rainy season, or you just want to surprise a friend, you just want to do something. Don't forget this is going to be how do we call it, a weekend, and you're going to spend so much money, and you want to just sit out with friends, you want to hang out. How much is going to cost you to actually rebuild your drinks? For most of us who don't drink, we don't take drinks around. We import them down to Nigeria, but then
As how
for most
now?
of you,
As
yeah,
how now?
there's this particular event that somebody attended. They say when he went there, he saw drinks, and then the whole drinks was filled in the table, and he was like, "Wait, did they do this one for this backyard? I be they bring and come for? I been at this drink where all of us know say they need to do one for Nigeria, and I be this one like Azama and
This is well
Alfana. Okay, so don't forget if you're actually
2020.
importing anything from Danish. Just know that just one Danish crown is costing Nigeria 210 naira, and then just one Saudi real is costing Nigeria 365 naira, and then one West African sefa is costing Nigeria just 2 naira, and then just one Japanese yen is costing Nigeria 8 naira, and then just one Chinese yuan is costing Nigeria 201 naira. It has actually stepped down a little bit, and then just one South African rand is costing Nigeria 82 naira. And so this is just being kind of okay within 88 naira, 85, 82 naira currently, but then we just hope it should have been just like what we have from West African CFA. And then just £1 sterling is costing Nigeria so much money, 1,827 naira. And then just €1 is costing Nigeria 1,594 naira. And then one Swiss francs is costing Nigeria 1,708 naira. And then just one US dollar is costing Nigeria 1,370 naira. So you've heard it from us this morning. And don't forget that if you want to go get something, you want to import a car, you want to import your wedding cake, you want to import your wedding ring, whatever it is, your jewelries, whatever you call it, that's how much it's going to cost you to do all of these things from these respective countries. Okay, so that's pretty much everything from the exchange rate segment.
All right, thank you very much, Thompson, for that one. You've heard the exchange rates for today, so ensure that you plan your finances accordingly. Anyway, we're moving back to the music. When we come back, we're moving straight to the national holiday segment right here on the show. I'll leave you in the hands of this beautiful song. I don't know. I'm so scared of calling the name of the artist
Mhm.
because it's a very sensitive topic in Nigeria at this point. So the name of the song is Symphony. Do enjoy this music. We'll be right back before you know it.
Okay, when we are back, I'll tell you what I think about this song.
on Unico Radio International, 103.5 FM Calabar, across your state, Nigeria. Time check is 14 minutes past the hour of 8, and at this point, we're going straight to the national holiday segment right here on the show. Like I already said earlier, today is the 25th day in the month of June 2026. We have 5 more days before we call it a wrap
A wrap up
in the
in
month
the
of
month of
June
June. Yeah.
2026. Now, the first national holiday we have is National Catfish Day.
Point and key for those
I
of you.
know, it's your thing. Nadia then go see
Point.
you. Nadia then go see
Okay,
you.
that one we carry two tail.
For some very weird and absurd reasons,
Yeah.
I am not a fan of catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't like it, especially when
Is
it's fresh. Ugh, I
Is it
don't, I
because
can't.
of the expenses involved?
No,
Or
no, definitely not. I just don't like it. Right
okay.
from time, I've not been a fan of catfish. It
Yeah,
just-
I wish Sharon was there. She would have told us what happened with catfish, the last, outing they went, and how the dates did not catch up because of fish.
I haven't tried because of the hype around catfish pepper soup. I
Okay.
tried it one time and it was not worth it. I'm sorry. It was for me.
I
That's
think
my own.
there's a place in Unica we actually went to have fresh fish.
Mm.
Yeah, they say, oh, it's fresh fish, yo, guy, man. After finish, yeah, it was nice. Let me just be very frank. It was nice, man. You're missing, man.
Well,
just need to
I'm
try
glad
that.
that you guys
But
enjoy it.
yeah, it's good how a lot of persons are actually doing it as a farm, as a business, entirely. Just don't forget, some times ago in Nigeria, we lost one guy called Catfish, once a catfish vendor, I think in
Okay,
the east part
he was
of the
murdered.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
that was murdered and all of that. So it's sad that today would have been that amazing day that would have swung into action to go and celebrate these kind of persons. I know there are thousands and millions of them in Nigeria, but
I
then
was actually
it's sad.
surprised a few years ago when I realized that there's actually a fish farm in the University of Calabar, like a big fish farm in the University of Calabar.
Yeah, we have that. It just like some couple of days ago where we had oil palms
Yeah,
and all the
yes,
productions
yeah.
and all of that. So there are lots of things in Calabar, in the University of Calabar precisely, that a lot of students are not even aware. A lot of persons are not even aware of. And if they are aware of it, look, they will not be pursuing most of this certificate. They are all bent, hand bent on, you must have first class and all of that. There are a lot of opportunities you can actually start from. Volunteer there before you know it, you don't get work, oh my guy. Then people will get first class go just they jump around, they find work and all of that. Wow, it's such a beautiful thing to actually have this as a national holiday. So if you have a catfish, if you know where to go and get some, please do it. There are lots of ways you can actually make your own to look so delicious to you. Anyhow you want it. Some persons will tell you, okay, that one will get two tail. Put it like this. Don't cut the belly or don't cut the eye. Put this one. I know them. So well, is that thank God it's already Thursday and lots of persons will be thinking of going to have some nice time.
Thinking about catfish
And all
already
of
makes
that.
me very nauseous. Anyway, moving
God.
on, we have National Handshake Day. National Handshake Day. Please, before you shake somebody, ensure that your hands are clean. Ensure that you sanitize your hands. Please, don't sneeze into your hands and go and shake another person. I beg in the name of God. Don't go and, as a guy, don't go and urinate and still use that same hand. So,
How we go
please.
do now?
How you
But
go do
how you
cleaning?
go
No do that. Don't
How you
try
go
that
do
thing. No.
now, guy?
Please.
Okay, just imagine you're coming from main gate down to how do they call it? CS block, and then all of a sudden, like most of us, that people know you, and
A
sometimes might not tend
fist
to know.
bomb.
Mhm.
A fist bomb.
Na
Do
Ebola,
that.
that's in Ebola greeting be that one. So,
Even though, regardless upon still,
but
a
na
fist
handshake, they say
bomb.
na handshake day. National holidays for handshake. So
I think
it's
the
just going to be
criteria
handshake.
for the handshake should be that your hands are clean. You're 100% sure that your hands are at least.
I am not giving you an instance now.
80%.
I am not giving you an instance now. Okay, you just finished class, and all of a sudden, the thing don't scratch you. Just say, let me just put your hand, just scratch yourself.
Thompson, that's the end of story.
Hold on now,
End
and then you
of
just come up for class.
story.
Then
End of
your
story.
lecturer, that your lecturer, where no agree make you pass, he see you. How you know give a handshake, my guy? You
God have mercy. This handshake of a thing is it's
So,
actually
I
not
don't know.
very healthy.
When
thinking
Ebola,
about it,
of course,
it's
when
not healthy.
Ebola actually came, yeah, every department, every faculty, every lecture building, there was hand washing, equipments, there were sanitizers and all of that. Ebola don't just disappear like this. Everything disappear. We don't even know who hold the container for washing, hands and all of that. So it's sad. It's really pathetic. But there again,
And that's
I
one
think,
culture that we don't have. Aside, when we had the pandemic,
hand washing.
hand washing
Yeah.
culture was not something that we actually did practice in
Yeah.
in Nigeria. You said something one time how somebody used eba to clean their hand before they like. Are you
Yeah, you know,
serious?
sometimes they
How?
say,
I
but
think about
sometimes,
randomly I think about that thing every time. Like, how do you use eba to clean your hand before you now start eating the eba?
yes, now. So when you are, let's say 4 or 5 guys want to eat, and then 1, 2, 3 persons have washed their hands, and there's no immediate water, and you know that this thing before you go find water from my guy there, but don't. Do you understand? Don't go down and
Mm.
like that. So you just cut the first one instead of dipping your hands in that same water that 2, 3, 4 persons have actually washed their hands. You just use the first lump, cleanse your hand. I know Collins can actually relate, and then trash it, and then proceed.
That's absolutely
Okay.
ridiculous. That's
so
very
so
ridiculous.
I can boldly say that exactly that is what actually happened. But then today is that very day where you give a handshake, and
If your
then let's
hands are
talk
not
about
clean, don't
handshake.
bother.
Yeah, and then the handshake. There are lots of persons give handshake, and you know that this is not handshake. It is inviting you to do something very nasty. And sometimes people give you handshake, and it's inviting you to testing your knowledge to know if you're actually belonging to one set or the other, and all of that. But we are just saying innocent handshake, and you shouldn't even give somebody handshake more than how many seconds. It's just a clap, and
Yeah.
then you pull off your hands.
And it
You
shouldn't
know,
be too hard as well. It's not.
shouldn't
It's
be
not.
too
It's not.
hard.
It's not a
And most
fight.
of you that during handshake you'll be squeezing somebody's hands. Please don't try that. It's not funny. Yeah, somebody almost injured me some I think a couple of days ago. Yeah, you give a handshake and the next thing you're squeezing the person's hand. No, it's not funny. Like, don't do it. It's just a normal handshake and you pull off your hand. So you don't over exchange all of the germs and
Bacteria.
other stuffs in your
I agree
hands
with
and
you.
all
I
of
agree
that.
with you. Make it
And
very
then
quick.
yeah, if there is no water to quickly wash your hands, please use sanitizers. If there are no sanitizers, please turn your elbows and how about that?
Fist
Just
bump. That's
yeah,
that's
okay,
all.
fist bumps. Just
Just do that,
and
and
then get your way past,
everybody will be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next national holiday we have is National Work from Home Day. National Work from Home Day. Hmm. To the remote workers, those
Yeah.
people that can work from home, today's that day. We celebrate you. Working from home is actually a nice experience, right? If you've
Yeah.
not experienced it before, it's actually a really nice experience where you just wake up and you turn on your laptop or your computer and you just sit there and work all through the day.
Yeah.
It's something that some people prefer. Some people prefer to work from home rather than going to the office to work. So
Yeah.
it's all about personal preference. Some people actually prefer to come to the office. They like human interaction and all of that. So it's based on personal preference at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, the next and not the final holiday we have is World Vitiligo Day. World Vitiligo Day. We'll talk more about vitiligo when we move to the
The
health and
health and
wellness segment. But
wellness, right,
know
okay.
that vitiligo is basically a pigment on the
On the
skin.
skin, yeah.
But we'll talk more about that when we move to
Not
the.
bleaching, no. No.
We'll talk more about it when we move to the health and wellness segment.
segments.
Anyway,
Alright.
that's much can take on the national holiday segment. We're going back to the music. I'll leave you in the hands of Ava Max. This one says Kings and Queens. Stay very close to your radio set. We'll be back before you know it.
If all of the kings
by Ava Max. Time check is 25 minutes past the hour of 8, and it's still the morning bus show right here on Unico Radio International, 123.5 FM Calabar across your state, Nigeria. And now we're moving straight to the health and wellness segment. And today we're talking about vitiligo. Like I said, today is World Vitiligo Day. So let's, shine the spotlight on vitiligo. Now, vitiligo is a long term skin condition characterized by the loss of skin pigment, melanin, resulting to white patches on the skin. It occurs when melanocytes, the cells responsible for producing melanin, are destroyed or stop functioning. Vitiligo is not contagious, infectious, or life-threatening. That's something that people need to understand. Vitiligo is not it's not something that you can contact from another person.
Yeah.
It's not contagious. It's not infectious. So there's really no point. There's no need to segregate people that have vitiligo.
Yeah.
Now let's look at causes of vitiligo. The exact causes is unknown, but factors associated with vitiligo include autoimmune reactions, where the immune system attacks melanocytes, genetic predisposition, environmental triggers such as severe sunburn, skin injury, stress, or exposure to certain chemicals. Now, let's look at the symptoms of vitiligo. We have white patches on the skin, premature whitening of hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, or beard, loss of skin, loss of color inside the mouth or nose, increased sensitivity to sunlight. Now, I don't know if you've seen some people, that they have white patches on their
Yeah.
skin. It's more like they have sunburn, or maybe they had a fire accident or something. You see white patches on their skin. That's not, sunburn. That's not fire burn. That is vitiligo. People are born like that. A lot of people are born that way with white patches around their skin.
Yeah, I think I also noticed one just yesterday. I noticed one mala breast like that. Her own was just right here beside her face, beside her eyes, and then
Mm.
wow! But it was really cute. It was really beautiful. And then I know some traditional cultures that really could be looking at that as how do they, is this son of the gods, I be goddess of whatever, something 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 like that. So there's
Mm.
some traditions actually despise all of that, but here we are today telling you that look, it has nothing to do with the gods being angry or and all of that. But
I think our
sometimes a
governor
lot
also
cultures,
has a little bit of vitiligo.
some
Governor
dots of
Basio
it.
too.
Yeah.
On his hair, I heard he was born that way. There's a particular section of his hair that is white.
White. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also, a
Yeah.
sign of vitiligo.
Okay.
Now we have types of vitiligo. Now, non-segmental vitiligo, most common, affecting both sides of the body. We also have segmental vitiligo, limited to one side or area of the body. Now, I've seen somebody where just half of the person's body is suffering from vitiligo, just half, or affected by vitiligo. The other half has, the normal skin pigment, while the half, and the half is so accurate, like from
Yeah.
this part of his head
Down.
down. The other side is just has the vitiligo, while the other side doesn't have vitiligo. If you see it, you think it's a cosmetic procedure because of how
Yeah.
straight
Straight it
the
is.
line is and the segmentation is. We also have focal, afrofacial, and universal vitiligo. This is a less common form affecting specific or extensive areas, like I mentioned, that of the governor of Cross River State.
Yeah.
Now, we have diagnosis. Diagnosis is usually made through physical examination, medical history, Woods lamp examination, blood test, and occasionally skin biopsy. Now we have treatments of vitiligo. There are no definitive cure, but treatment can help restore pigment and slow progression. We have types of treatments. We have topical corticosteroids and immunomodulators. We also have phototherapy, that is UVB light treatment. We also have surgical procedures for stable cases. We also have cosmetic camouflage products. Now
Okay.
there are products that you can use on your skin if you have vitiligo, and to cover those patches and it to look normal.
Yeah.
Some are cosmetic products like foundation and all that kind of stuff. You can just use it on your skin and to cover those white patches. Now,
And please don't go and force yourself, okay? If you try it once, twice, and thought it is not working, please leave it to be so. And that time you can say, take me for who I am. Thank you.
okay, we have complications now. Increased
Okay.
risk of sunburn. If you have vitiligo, you should not always be under the sun because it can affect your skin. We also have possible eye and hearing issues. We also have psychological effects such as anxiety, depression, and reduced self-esteem. Like I said, it's not a disease. It's not something that is infectious or
Infectious or yeah.
contagious, right? So you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. As a matter of fact, I actually think vitiligo is actually very beautiful. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Now,
the ones I've seen, they
yeah,
appear in parts of the bodies that
and it
are
looks really
very,
nice.
very
It looks
nice. Yeah,
creative.
like
It looks arty.
I almost wanted to approach
Now you
and I
sabi.
say,
Prevention and management.
you were
Use
so cute.
sunscreen. Use
Now you know, leave me now, no. Okay, no
Use
wahala.
sunscreen regularly. Protect the skin from injury and excessive sun exposure. I said that. Seek early medical care. Address emotional and psychological concerns through support and counseling when necessary. It's very, very important that if you're feeling down, if you're feeling emotionally distressed, ensure that you seek professional help because,
Yeah,
like I said, it shouldn't be something that should reduce or lower your self-esteem. It should be something that you should be proud of because I mean
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
not a disease. It's not something you can pass to another person. So you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Now, key fact: vitiligo affects about 5.0% to 2% of the global population and can occur in people of all ages, gender, and ethnic backgrounds. So, vitiligo is not for a particular gender or a
Yeah.
particular age or a particular ethnic background. It can occur to anybody. There's a particular model in the USA, Winnie Harlow. She has vitiligo and she's famous for having vitiligo. She's making money off vitiligo because she's a model. People use her skin for makeup products, fashion shows, runways, and all of that. So vitiligo is not something that you should be ashamed of. It should be something that you should be proud of because you're different, you're unique. I see it as art, as a matter of fact. So it shouldn't be something that you should be scared of or you should be afraid of. It shouldn't be something that should reduce your self-esteem as a person. You should be proud of who you are because I mean God created you beautifully and wonderfully.
Yeah.
Well, that's much can take on the health and wellness segment. So going back to the music. When we come back, we're moving straight to the people and culture segment. I'll leave it in the hands of Alicia Cara. This one says, "Scars to your beautiful." Stay very close to your radio set. We'll be back before you know it.
She just wants to be
A show right here on Unico Radio International, 103.5 FM Calabar across the states in Nigeria. And right now we're moving straight to another exciting segment of the show, which is the people and culture segments. Like you already know, on this segment of the show, we teach you about people and, of course, culture. Now, today we are talking about the history and origin of Aso Rock. I know that's a very popular name. Lots of people have, opinions about the Aso Rock, but let's
I reserve my
talk about.
comments.
Please reserve it. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's talk about the history and origin of the Aso Rock. Now, Aso Rock is one of Nigeria's most recognizable natural landmarks and a powerful symbol of national governance. Located in Abuja, the massive granite outcrop rises about 400 meters above the surrounding terrain and reaches an elevation of approximately 936 meters above sea level. Today, it overlooks key government institutions, including the Presidential Villa, the National Assembly, and the Supreme Court. Now, origin of the Aso Rock. Geologically, Aso Rock is a granite monolith formed millions of years ago during the pre-Cambrian era. It originated from molten rock that cooled and solidified deep beneath the Earth's surface. Over time, withering and erosion removed the softer surrounding rocks, leaving behind the resistant granite mass that is visible today. The name Aso is believed to have originated from the indigenous people who inhabited the area before Abuja became Nigeria's capital. According to local traditions, Aso is associated with the idea of victory or being victorious, and the nearby district of Asokoro is often interpreted as meaning the people of victory. Now, let's talk about the historical significance. Before the development of Abuja, the area around Aso Rock was inhabited mainly by indigenous communities, particularly the Gwari people. The rock served as a notable geographical landmark and held cultural significance for local inhabitants. When the Nigerian government decided in the 1970s to relocate the nation's capital from Lagos to Abuja, planners used Aso Rock as a major reference point in the design of the new capital city. Its imposing presence helped shape Abuja's master plan and urban layout. In 1991, when Abuja officially became Nigeria's capital, the presidential complex, popularly known as Aso Villa, was established near the rock. Since then, Aso Rock has become synonymous with the Nigerian presidency and the seat of federal power. Now, let's talk about the importance today. Beyond its geographical and historical value, Aso Rock has become a national symbol representing Nigerian unity and sovereignty, the seat of executive power, the political identity of Abuja, a major tourist and cultural landmark. Now, Aso Rock is a prehistoric granite monolith that predates human settlement by millions of years. Its name is linked to the indigenous inhabitants of the area and the concept of victory. With the creation of Abuja as Nigeria's capital, the rock evolved from a natural landmark into the most recognized symbol of the Nigerian culture. So like I said earlier, the Aso Rock is something that every Nigerian knows about. I want to believe every Nigerian has seen the Aso Rock, but if you've not seen it, you can rush to our live stream now. It's showing on the screen right now. It's actually a very beautiful sight. It's actually I've come to realize that Abuja has a lot of rocks. When you're traveling, you travel to Abuja, you realize that there are a lot of rocks in Abuja, and the Aso Rock is one of the. I think that's the biggest in in Abuja. It
Yeah.
has about I think I saw that somewhere. It has about it's about 400
400.
meters above
Yeah.
the surrounding terrain and approximately 936 meters above sea level. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. And, it signifies, Nigeria's sovereignty. It signifies political power. And it's also a tourist site because,
Yeah.
a lot of tourists come there every year to just see the rock and how magnificent the rocks
Yeah.
are.
So I think basically, little thing I could just have have to pick about Asu Rock has to do with the fact that, yeah, a lot of comedians have actually used that to say if God has not called you, you might go there and jam rock. So, and then he went for that to list the names of head of states who actually didn't survive their tenure in office. But luckily, we had Jonathan, who luckily served and lived, after that. And then even Buhari also served, lived, and then before he actually kicked bucket. But then I think ASO means in this local
Victory.
Gwagwai language, you say,
Mm.
refers to
Victory.
victory. Yeah.
Mm.
Whereas this house has been, very just like you gave some of the some of the kind of specification for the house. This is one of the most guided place in Nigeria because of the presence of the president and the vice president. Before now, it was literally called Aguda, knowing very well that it houses the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this also has a lot of offices where a lot of meetings are being held when they have meetings with head of states from other country or nations, and all of that is being held in this particular place. And this place is always fortified with great security presence, knowing very well that this is the powerhouse of the nation. I call it the powerhouse, the government house of the nation. And then it also has a lot of other arms that actually makes it what it is today. But for you out there, you've heard it from us this morning. If you need more details, just do well to visit our social media platforms and
Or go
then
to
read the details.
Abuja.
And
Just take a trip to Abuja because, like I always say, Nigeria has a lot of
I think
tourist
this
sites.
weekend, if you're interested, trust me, I'll be in Abuja on Saturday. Yeah, just an end of year celebration and end of party
End
celebration.
of year celebration in June.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Lord is your strength.
So if you want to join me, if you want to join me, you're
visit
free to come
Abuja
with
if you
me.
want to. I
Yeah.
mean, like I always say, Nigeria has a lot of tourist attractions. I mean, just in Cross River City alone, we have a lot of tourist attractions that I have not even
attractions, yeah.
attended or I've not even, I've not seen for myself. So imagine the whole of Nigeria. So ensure that you travel before you travel out, to Canada, to the USA, to the UK. Ensure that you travel around Nigeria. It's just bad that these days security is a problem. I think that's one of the reasons why people don't travel as much as they want to travel because their safety is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
You can decide to
If by
travel.
land you're not safe, please use water. If by
How
water
many-
you're not still safe, please
how
fly.
many?
If you
how
can't fly,
many-
disappear and
See,
appear.
see,
It's
let me
still
tell you
but
something.
make sure you go to Abuja before you
Let's
before
say
you
you
leave
want.
Nigeria.
Let's say you want to go to somewhere like Zaria. Right?
Zaria.
You cannot fly from Calabar to Zaria.
Wait now.
You
It's
cannot
very
fly
simple.
from Calabar to
just fly.
Sokoto.
Hold on. Just fly to Abuja first. Once you reach there, there was a time some truck drivers actually, they had to bring our people inside the truck. Yeah. So if you don't want to hide inside, it's just a simple way. You can decide to disappear and appear. It's still part of, but your own is get to that place. That's the most important thing. Just get to that place and take pictures for evidence sake.
So the disappearing and appearing parts, I can meet you later for that. I think you have some Yakol jazz. That you
Well,
can give
it
me.
depends on where we go appear. That's the most important
I
thing.
think you
But
have
for you,
you have Yakol jazz in your pocket.
but
that
for
we
you out
use.
there, we're talking about Aso Rock. Okay, so and you want to go to Aso Rock, don't forget, if the road is not safe, use water. If the water is not safe, fly.
How you want to use
If
water?
you can't
How
fly,
do- how-
if it's too
how do
expensive for you
how
to
do you want to
fly,
use water to Abuja, big? How?
just use water. Is water not the means of transportation
It
again?
is, but it has to have a link. You cannot
Don't-
just use water just like that. It should
Just
be a
use
link.
water. Just use water. But if you
Anyway,
can't,
that's the much can take on
disappear and
the
appear.
people and culture segment. You spoke about the Aso Rock. You can go on social media and do your own research and see it for yourself. Or better still, you can go to Abuja to see what the Aso Rock looks like. Anyway, we're going back to the music right now, and after that, the news flash by 9 a.m. will come up. Immediately after that, we'll be back to give you the best of education, information, and of course, entertainment right here on the Morning Bus Show. I'll leave you in the hands of Sia. This one says Chandelier. Stay very close to your radio set. We'll be back before you know it. Calabash on Unical Radio International, 103.5 FM Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. My name is Vine Henshaw. Here are the top headlines of the hour. Starting from campus news, University of Calabar schedules portal shutdown, exams begin July 13th. On the state scene, Cross River Assembly confirms Ayuk Afor as Tourism Commissioner. On the national scene, Senate passes State Police Bill. It's now Federal State Police Service. Away from Nigeria, Venezuela earthquake kills at least 32 people with over 700 injured as buildings destroyed across Caracas. In the world of entertainment and lifestyle, Nollywood actress Omeche Oko hospitalized after a terrible accident on set. Last in the world of sports, South Africa reached World Cup knockout stage for first time with win over South Korea. Details of all these and more coming up by 1 p.m. If you have news reports from your areas, hostels, departments, and faculties, please call our news hotline on 0809 4444058. You can also follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook, we are Unical Radio International. On Instagram, TikTok, and X, we are Unical Radio. Please do away with any form of discrimination and nepotism as we strive to build a united nation. And always remember, as Malabites, Malabrases, and Crossivarians, we are known for reasonable action. I am Vine Henshaw. Stay tuned and keep it locked right here on Unical Radio International, 103.5 FM Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. The Morning Bus Show comes up shortly. Stay very close to your radio set. Good morning.
Hi there.
In the People's Paradise, it's Unical Radio International, Cross River Estate, Nigeria, 103.5 FM. Education, information, and entertainment.
Unical 103.5 FM, bringing to you entertainment, infotainment, and edutainment all round the clock with profound trust.
5 minutes past the hour of 9. That was Happy by Pharrell Williams. I'm hoping that you're happy today. I'm hoping that your day is off to a very happy and fantastic start. It's still the morning bus show right here on Unico Radio International 103.5 FM Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. And right now we're moving straight to the next segment of the show, which is the top story segment. Remember that your host or your favorite voices on radio are still here, Obi Thompson, and of course myself, Vine Henshaw. And like you already know, we like to start with the university news. Now we have that departmental cutoff points in circulation. The attention of the university management has been drawn to the circulation of purported departmental cutoff points for admission being shared across various social media platforms and messaging channels. The university wishes to state categorically that the said cutoff points are false, misleading, unauthorized, and do not emanate from the institution. Prospective candidates, parents, guardians, and members of the general public are hereby advised to disregard such information and refrain from sharing unverified admission related content. Official information regarding admissions, including departmental cutoff points, where applicable, will be communicated through the university's approved communication channels. Candidates are strongly advised to rely solely on the official university publications and announcements for accurate, authentic, and up to date information. The university management remains committed to transparency and will duly notify the public of all approved admission guidelines and procedures. We appreciate your cooperation and understanding. Signed, Public Relations Unit, University of Calabar. What do you make out of this?
Yeah, I think I believe we have been saying this all the times that in as much as you're a student in the University of Calabar, you must understand that there are verifiable channels of informations that you must have to follow. Just so that you don't get caught up along the way. And then while others are actually progressing, you're there, visiting offices and looking for who you know, and then crying up a helter skelter, seeking for help. So it's quite important for you to understand that Unica 103.5 FM is here. I'm giving you up-to-date information, as well as most of you complain you don't have radios in your phones, or how do you listen? It's just unicalem.net, unicalem.net, and then you could listen to Unica Radio, especially every mornings, and then the news and we give to you out there. And then outside of that, a lot of students don't go to their departments to go seek for information. All they do is stay at the comfort of their homes and wait until when it is assessment period and exams period, and then that is just the only news, and on social media platforms, which is absolutely wrong. Okay, go to your department, go to your faculty. Most students don't even visit their faculty after their first screening in the school, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And then you sit down there and wait someone. I love what the former vice chancellor did, that we don't want to see any or hear anything like cosmate, how do they call it, class rep and all of those things, because a lot of people have enveloped all their kind of trust, whatever, on that particular or sole individual, that whatever information the person say, automatically that information is coming from the VC. That's what a lot of them believe, but which is not supposed to be so. As a student, this is an avenue for you to begin to explore channels of getting verified information. There's nothing wrong for you to walk to the school, the management block, and say, look, I want to meet with the PRO. I want to know if this information is true or not. We have the faculty directors of information, we have the student union government and directors of information. So all of these are basic channels that if you are not satisfied with all of those informations, there is nothing wrong to go and meet the VC. That VC, I saw informations like this and I want to know. Yes, it is nothing wrong.
How do you want to meet the VC?
I am currently having a scholarship outside of Nigeria, and then though it's online, but sometimes during registrations and all of that, all the informations of our principal officers are all listed there. So if I get any information and I'm not satisfied, I used to email them and they reply you. So why can't we, do this? The vice chancellor, I do just want to say, oh, he's not God, but even God, you used to talk to God and ask God question, man. So why not just go meet the vice chancellor that, oh, God, vice chancellor, I saw this information and I don't understand. Please explain. He will do it. I trust his capabilities. He can do it.
That's
So
why we have the PRO, the public relations officer of the
yeah,
University of
so a lot
Calabar.
of them might not know him in person,
He
or
is
he's
supposed to
just
do
there.
his job by circulating verified information, which he has
Yeah.
done.
So what we are saying is informations are already there. Do you know that this Nuga game, as we speak, a lot of persons don't know when this Nuga, but we've been saying it and talking about it all the time. So a lot of students are just fixed. They have this fixed mindset about something. They
Well,
just
there's
know
another
that.
thing. There's another angle to this.
Okay.
I believe that the University of Calabar should move towards social media publicity because this generation people are solely relying on social media for information.
Yeah.
So if the school has a verified Facebook account, verified Instagram account, verified TikTok account, so it's easier for young people who would rely on social media for information to get information.
This
But because there's no verified social media platform, anybody can just pick up an information about the university and post it, and people just believe that that person is saying the truth, whereas it's false information, it's misleading information. So if you can have verified social media platforms to circulate messages and information, then it will go a long way.
I think it will do us more favor if we invite the PRO to also address students on this matter, because this is a very serious issue. If you search the University of Calabar online, for instance, let's take the common one, Facebook, for instance. Look, you will see a lot of University of Calabar channels of information, and you'll be confused about the one that is truly genuine. And I keep asking, can't an institution like this have a verified with
yeah.
the sticker being there? Because once that is done, you know that this particular channel is verified. And on the other hand, there was a memo some times ago that was released. It was not signed. But later on, there was a rumor that that memo was not correct. But later on, we still saw almost the same memo, flying, and that was signed. And people were saying, is this not the same thing that was, sent out and all of that? So I think it has to do with informations. And for me, the moment an information is not signed, automatically it's not valid until it is signed. But we should have the information department, the PRO, working up to date. It goes just beyond, posting informations like this. It goes beyond, you have to do a follow up to that.
And it should
do you
be
understand?
timely
And it
as
should be
well.
timely. You don't wait until when people have already gotten information before you now start posting that, oh, this is happening and all of that. No, it shouldn't be. If you need data, well, I trust I can support. But if you need a means
Hold
of
Thompson accountable for your data, Mr. Efyong. If you're listening to us this morning, Thompson said categorically on this show that he's going to support your data. So please hold him accountable when the
but
time comes.
I trust
There are no bots.
my
There are
boss.
no
I
bots.
trust my boss is
There are no
capable of doing
bots.
the needful.
There are no
I am
bots.
no, I was just saying an oversight function. But I know that
That's how you put yourself inside a problem one day, and I will not be there to save you, unfortunately for you.
But you
Anyway,
understand what I mean
at
now,
the end of
boss.
the
You
day,
understand what I mean. But
the important thing about information is that it's timely and
Yeah.
it passes through the right channels as well. Now, moving on, we have a memo from the Office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. And the subject is closure of a registration and school fees portal for Stream B 2025/2026 session. This is to inform all Stream B students that the school fees portal for the 2025/2026 academic session will close on Monday, 29th June 2026, and the registration portal will close on Wednesday, 1st July 2026. The closure is to facilitate adequate preparations for the forthcoming examinations, which are scheduled to commence on Monday, 13th July 2026. Students who are yet to complete their registration are hereby strongly advised to do so before the stipulated deadlines, as no extensions will be granted to any category of students. Please be guided accordingly. Signed by Professor Ikaite Enang, DVC Academic. What do we make out of this?
we've been saying this all the time, and I believe strongly that it still has to do with the information dissemination and then the reaction from students. A lot of students are not even aware that, look, when you enter school, there is a time for you to do your registration, and there's time for you to pay your fee, and there's a time for you to start your exams and all of that. A lot of them don't know, because one, I think it gets to that extent where if you see sometimes the nature of students, you look at them and be like, this one, it be like you supposed to secondary school or you supposed to nursery school. So your papa and mama go still they follow you, they go do everything, and sometimes you see situations where parents are the one even informing their children that look, this is time for you to do this and all of that. But they're on their own, they don't care. All they just do is go after trending stories, go after trending things that does not really relate to their study or their academics. Here the management have said, look, within this time frame is for you to do all the necessary payments so that during, look, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, it's so embarrassing. Whether your parents are poor, your parents are wealthy, your parents are rich, or whatever status your parents are, for you to be in exams hall and they come and pull you out of exams hall, or while others are entering inside the exams hall and you're outside, guy, forget it. You'll be traumatized. Do you understand? There's these feelings that you will never even have to forgive yourself personally. Do you understand? And some of
What if
you
we have a day she?
you never enter exam hall for Unica before, man. Do you know that feelings that everyone have been called into exams hall and you're the only one waiting, especially when it has to do with that particular lecturer that doesn't smile? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. And then that particular person, you won't even have access to go and meet and say, hey, I missed your exams because of this and all of that. And knowing very well that, look, you're going to face another level of stress entirely outside of, Unica is stressful and all of that, right? But there again, I think a lot of students, okay, your parents have given to you school fees, but because your friend is using an iPhone, your friend is using an earpod that, you need to have this one, your friend is using this, your friend is using that, and automatically you must have it. And then they give you
With
school
your
fees.
school fees.
Boom. Yeah, I've seen a lot of, back
With
then.
your school fees.
Yeah, when I was
you
still in
must be,
school.
You must be kidding me.
No, when I was still in school, I had some colleagues who did that.
So are you doing that with the hopes of
yeah, that somehow you're going to get
that's
the
people
money.
give you money to replace your school fees?
I think that is where some of them do not understand that you might not have the money back for you to actually do.
There's
what
a
you're expected to
deadline
do.
for school fees payments at the end of the day.
And funny how they take risk. They take these risks deliberately. Some of them take these risks deliberately. Do you understand? So I think we're inviting you, Malabites and Malabresses out there, that look, this is your life. This is your future. Do you understand? I've had also some couple of students back then when I knew that, they give you money, I use it to do something else. And eventually they lost their parents. And then you begin to start all over. If you think that your wicked auntie or wicked, especially some of our parents who, if they do something for you, they have to tell their kindred and all of that. And then you return back to say, uncle, I need school fees. Say, your papa, where don't die, don't give you money now. He told me that he gave you money to pay your school fees. So what, and all of that. So I think it's wrong for anyone to actually toil with his or her own future, at this point in time. If your parents give you money for your school fees, please pay your school fees. I understand that a lot of parents do not know that other school charges are even more expensive or even more tough than even the school fees itself. But yes, they have given you school fees, pay it anyhow you want to sort yourself out. That's why we're talking about volunteering, doing other activities, genuine activities, please, that will give you funds and all of that. But then again, to the school management, I understand that things are tough. You could also, a lot of persons have this perception, don't worry, it's not just 2 weeks. After that, they will come and increase, they'll give another time again and all of that. No, it might not be like that.
On the 13th of
So
July.
you can imagine that. So you don't need to wait and all of that. Do all you can to make sure you do, if it is possible. I think there's room for part payments and all of that. So you can just write your exams and then you could just come back, clear off and then do the rest thing that you need to do. But to the school management as well, I'm also appealing that they should also do a little, not as usual, but just a little extension so that it will enable a lot of students who are still struggling to, because of
the memo
rain,
said that
to fry
there'll
their gari and all
no
of that.
window for extension. So
Well, if there's no window for extension, I think they should use the door so that at least most students can have the opportunity
I don't have
to
your time this morning.
actually,
Anyway, you
write the
heard it
exams.
here. Ensure that you work towards paying your fees and registering your courses as well, because the portal will soon be shut down. And like the memo said, there will not be room for.
And that even reminds me. Funny how somebody told me yesterday that a particular sister of hers, traveled to the village and refused to go to farm. And you want your parents to give you money. Some of you will remain in Calabar when you know that you don't have anything to do in here in Calabar. It's just for you to sleep, roam, and eat and bake. please, you need to go back to the village. Go back to the village, go and look for money and come and pay your school fees and go to school. This is your future. You don't need to toy with. I am saying because I have experienced it a lot firsthand, and I've had a lot of times. Sometimes you see students lurching around the school. They're not doing anything here. They just want to leave the house. Just that you not look. The landlord will say, "You they sleep every day, every day, every day. Go find waiting to do." So they'll just bait, come to the school and be lurching around and all of that. No, it is wrong. You're not doing anybody. You're doing it to yourself. So you need to go back to the village, go and help anyhow you can do genuine things to have money to come and pay your school fees. Trust me, you're investing. This is the best investment any young person can actually do, outside of the looking for volunteering work and all of that, all of those things to actually do.
All right, moving on, we have Cross River State to train coffee farmers ahead of statewide seedling distribution. The Cross River State government has announced plans to commence a comprehensive training program for coffee farmers across the state ahead of the distribution of coffee seedlings scheduled for July as part of the ongoing efforts to revive the state's coffee industry and position it as a major player in Nigeria's agricultural export market. The capacity building initiative, coordinated by the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation Development, is designed to equip farmers with modern coffee cultivation techniques, agronomic practices, and value chain knowledge necessary for successful coffee production. The training will target registered coffee farmers, prospective growers, agricultural extension officers, and other stakeholders involved in the coffee sector. According to the state government, the program forms a critical component of Governor Basu II's agricultural transformation agenda, which seeks to diversify the state's economy, increase non-oil exports, and create employment opportunities, improve the livelihood of rural farmers. The administration's views coffee production as a strategic commodity capable of generating sustainable income and attracting foreign investment into the state. The training is expected to cover key aspects of coffee farming, including site selection, nursery management, transplanting techniques, pest and disease control, irrigation practices, weed management, pruning methods, and post-harvest handling. Participants will also receive guidance on sustainable farming methods and international best practices required to meet global coffee market standards. The initiative comes as Cross River intensifies efforts to implement its ambitious coffee revolution program, which aims to distribute and cultivate millions of Arabica and Robusta coffee seedlings across the state's 18 local government areas. The program is being implemented in partnership with agribusiness firm JR Farms and other development partners to ensure technical support, market access, and long term sustainability. Government officials disclosed that thousands of farmers have already been profiled and onboarded into the program. The state expects the coffee project to create jobs, stimulate rural development, increase household incomes, and re-establish Cross River as Nigeria's leading coffee production state. Beyond seedling distribution, authorities say plans are underway to establish coffee producing and washing stations in strategic locations across the states. Additional training programs will also be conducted to support farmers in harvesting, sorting, processing, drying, and marketing their produce. These measures are expected to strengthen the entire coffee value chain and improve farmers' access to both local and international markets. Agriculture stakeholders have welcomed the initiative, describing it as a major step towards unlocking the state's agricultural potential and creating a sustainable, export oriented coffee industry. They express optimism that with proper training and support, Cross River farmers will be well positioned to compete in the global coffee market and benefit from rising international demand for quality coffee products. What do we make out of this?
Oh, wow. I think let me just start clapping my hands. I don't know if the cheche is it chekere you call it. I would have just loved to do the same thing. I think I am one person that I don't know how long I am going to stand with the government, but trust me,
Here we go.
yeah, it's going to be something very interesting. First, I don't know if our politicians are very much aware that in this 21st century, the moment you tell somebody good morning, as a politician, they are actually already on their smartphones, trying to check if this good morning is actually good enough or actually genuine. Now, if you look at business Business Day newspaper of July 7th, 2005. Now, there's this same report about coffee, business or agriculture, stories and all of that, how 30 million seedlings will be distributed. So at this point in time, it's 1 year. So we should be expecting for us to have harvest. So why are we still talking about, empowering and all of that? Look, I think, most of us, we have come to the conclusion that just like the Senate president have said in one of the plenaries or sittings in the Senate, that anywhere you see food, chop. Yeah, so that is the situation currently. Wherever you see food, please eat your food, okay? Eat. Just, even if you don't want to beg to eat, but just eat food. That is what it means. Because you won't tell me this same thing that the government have done over the past are still bringing it up again. And up till today, we're still talking about giving seedlings. We're not talking about this is how much we have made for the past 1 year now. So how much have we made from it? The ones we have done before. Is the story is everywhere. If you go to most of the newspapers, is there. The story is there that 30 million seedlings were handed over. And we have the likes of the deputy governor was there, the governor, and all of these guys were there. They said, yes, we're going to do it.
In this
and
case, like they say, whenever you want to hold the government accountable, ensure that there's a timeline for execution. Now, in this case, there's a timeline, and that is July. The distribution will be done in July. When there is no report as to whether or not this distribution was done in July, then we can see that there's a problem.
Mr. Vine, let's look at this business day of that particular year, and let's see what happened there. That in his remark, Olawole Rotimi Opeyemi, JR, Farm CEO and founder, stressed the significance of the project, noting that after nearly a decade of working in the coffee value chain across East Africa, engaging over 4,000 farmers, his company has exceeded, and very, very excited to actually bring that experience home to support Nigeria's coffee industry and transformation. So we are saying that he has actually commended the state government's commitment to agricultural development and said that 30 million coffee seedling cultivation projects will engender prosperity for the people, ensure rural development, create jobs and all of that. So we are asking the question, like, right from that time that this initiative actually took effect till today, this is 1 full year, and we are asking, okay, it's not yet time, we're still planting more. So except somebody said, well, that particular one did it whole, and then we are still now. I think most times our politicians do not know that there is a way that seemeth good unto a man, but the end thereof is destruction. If you look at what Abacha did, Abacha looted this country, and up to today, we are talking about Abacha's loot, reforms and all of that. So it doesn't matter how many years you're going to spend in the corridors of power, that someday, somehow, Nigerians, being Nigerians, would have to go back and say, look, this particular person served as a councillor for 8 years during this year, and this is how much was given. And so let's get the money. Let's get to trace it. This particular person served as a chairman. This particular person served as a governor, as a senator, as a House of Rep member, as a governor, or president, and whatever it is. And this is what we want to do. Look, we will still go back there and make sure we will put the names the same way Abacha's loot names is already flying and all of that. We will have to, because this is our money. How concerned I am is that this is our money. How a lot of persons don't even care about it. They say, now government. No, it's not government money. It is our money that we ask you as an individual to go and take proper care of it. But here we turn out that every year in, year out, we still have, okay, the governor will be doling out 1,000 seedlings, 2,000 seedlings every year and up to now. It is time for harvest. So when are we going to harvest it? Now, this year we are going to go back again to do another harvest. So next month. It will be a kind of, a campaign trail that the governor have done it. I was reading through a story that the governor, somebody was trying to list the names of the hospitals that, they talked about, they have rehabilitated and all of that. Well, it seems so interesting, and I love it so much. And trust me, I must give it to the governor that he has done exceptionally well, that he is doing all of these things. But for you out there, it is left for you to actually go get your PVCs, and do the needful. Because one, I, as a person, this is just my own personal opinion that year in, year out, we should not be having the same government, giving the same promises, and these promises are still not being realized. Do you understand? So I think it's quite a bit not too okay by me that this particular project was carried out last year, and this year we're still going back the same thing, and next year we're still going to be doing the same thing again and again and again. Don't forget, the cassava productions here is another key thing entirely. Now we talk about industry. The industry we're talking about, is it for us to just go and harvest this coffee, Abi, and then send it to wherever, anywhere in the country, in the world, and then bring it back again for us to, when are we going to start buying coffee made in Cross River State, for instance? We have the land, we have the resources, we have the manpower. So when are we going to start buying these things? Go to Watts Market, go to Mara Market, go to any of these markets and say, this product is actually being produced in our own state, and this is how much it's going to cost us to have it. The best, we're not talking about those ones that when you carry it up and then the whole thing will look as if, no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the industry here. So,
Well,
I wish the government's well,
at
and
the end
I
of the
wish,
day, the July
yeah,
seedling distribution exercise is expected to mark another milestone in the state's broader agricultural development strategy, with emphasis on commercial farming, value addition, food security, and rural economic growth.
and Mr. Vine, that time we talked about 11,000 coffee farmers in Cross River State alone. 11,000. 11,000 is enough to feed this state with every morning you just wake up, put your coffee, and, I don't know whether it's the kind of coffee I'm thinking in my head, though, because if it is a coffee that I
Well,
know,
like I
or
said,
you're
right,
using it to do any other unnecessary things,
Thompson, like I said, right, at the end of the day, right,
11,000.
at the end of the day, there's
Hey,
a
come on.
timeline for this seedling distribution, and that is
But the
July.
previous timeline of last year, what happened to that?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay.
How about we work with what we have right now and follow up from here? How about we do that?
That's the reason why
let's do
a
that.
lot of persons are having concern as to why we are not doing history, or why is it that history is a kind of being distorted in institutions. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. It's just like these issues of a lot of students eating the money parents give to them. You think about your family. In your family, how many persons have gone to school in your family? So would you be the only one that they will give money and you go and steal it? So, and then what happened to your own family when you start having family and your child does such a thing to you? How would you feel? So that is it. So if yesterday you said you invested in this thing and today you're still investing in that, tomorrow, when would we have harvest in the ones you've invested before? That's the problem.
Well, like I said, at the end of the day, right? We've heard the backstory that you just read, and now this is the same government that is saying that, okay, in the month of July, that's next month, or that's next week, because by next week we are going into the month of July.
Yeah.
They're going to empower more farmers with seedlings, coffee seedlings. Now we're going to follow up with the story and ensure that this we will report that these farmers have received this seedlings, and they received the promised training to cultivate coffee right here
Okay.
in Cross River State.
I wish us the best
Paradise.
as we wait.
All right, that's much can take on the top story segment. So, coming back to the music. When we come back, we're moving straight to the conversation of the day. I'll leave in the hands of Files the Bad Guy. This one says, "JJ, stay very close to your radio." 35 minutes past the hour of 9. Welcome back from that music break. That was Jeje by Fowls. It's still the Morning Bus Show with Vine Henshaw and Obi Thompson right here on Unico Radio International, 103.5 FM Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. And right now we're moving straight to another exciting segment of the show, which is the conversation of the day. And this is where we get to hear from you, 0809 4444058. I'll take that again, 0809 4444058. You can send an SMS to that number or send a WhatsApp message to that same number, and we'll take it right here on the show. So today we're talking about something that we've spoken about. I think that was early this year, sometime in February, if I'm not mistaken. Now there was a post on social media, TikTok precisely, where a certain lady or girl came on social media to acclaim that she was raped and molested by a man, and the man used a blade to tear her up, to rape her, and all of that. And the police took that case and investigated that case, and we have the final verdict from the court. Now, Mirabel rape case. Ogun government concludes investigation, confirms she lied, recommends rehabilitation instead of prosecution. The Ogun State government has provided fresh detail on the controversial rape allegation involving Miss Nsikak Abigail Imem, popularly known as Mirabel, revealing that investigations found no evidence that the alleged incident ever occurred. In a statement issued by the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Oluwasina Ogunbade San, the government said extensive investigations conducted by relevant authorities concluded that Mirabel's rape claim was false and deliberately fabricated. According to the Ministry of Justice, findings from the investigation, including admissions reportedly made by Mirabel herself, established that the allegation was untrue. The government stated that because no rape occurred, there was no offender to arrest, prosecute, or pose any threat to public safety. Despite determining that the allegation was fabricated, the Ogun State government decided not to prosecute Mirabel. Instead, authorities opted for a rehabilitation approach after reviewing the circumstances surrounding the case. The ministry explained that pursuing psychosocial rehabilitation was considered more appropriate and in the interest of justice than criminal prosecution. As part of this intervention, Mirabel has been placed under the care of Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, where she is currently receiving support and counseling. The government further disclosed that it has continued to monitor her progress through periodic reports and noted that she is responding positively to the rehabilitation program. According to the ministry, Mirabel is also preparing for examinations as part of efforts to continue her education and rebuild her future. What do we make out of this? I know that Thompson, calm down. I know you have a lot of things to say, but
Yeah.
let's take it one step at a time.
Okay.
What do you think about the story? 0809 4444058. I'll take that again, 0809 4444058. Now, the big question we're asking today is, do you believe mental health and psychosocial factors should be considered when handling cases involving fabricated claims and sexual assault? Do you believe mental health and psychosocial factors should be considered when handling cases involving fabricated claims and sexual assault? Talk to us this morning, 0809 4444058. I'll take that again, 0809 4444058. You can send an SMS to that number or send a WhatsApp message to that same number, and we'll take it right here on the show. Thompson, let's hear you.
Just like you said, we're going to take it very easy. Yeah. First of all, when the story came up, I first of all knew that this was absolutely not true because no man, no matter how mentally derailed you are, would ever use razor blade sharp
Well,
objects.
you can't
to-
say that for sure.
Well-
you cannot make excuses for everybody. You can make an excuse for yourself, but
Okay.
you cannot make excuses for everybody. So you cannot say no man can do that. People are sick out there. People are
Yeah.
psychotic out there. So you cannot say nobody can do that.
But-
you cannot do that. Doesn't mean that the next person cannot do that.
Okay, but there again, I'm happy that the court have actually established the fact that look, it wasn't possible, or
She
this
herself,
didn't do-
she confessed to the fact
That-
that they were, false claims, that
Yeah.
they were untrue.
Yeah, so it means truly she needed to be rehabilitated. I'm happy she was not rehabilitated close to where the bandits are,
I don't have your
rehabilitated as
strength,
well.
Thompson.
But then again, I think someone could just use sharp objects to cut you just so to have access to you was something right from the very second I heard of the story. I didn't believe that was going to be possible because one, the fact that you're staying alone as a girl does not mean, yeah, I heard someone tell me a story that, oh, she was drugged and all of that, but somebody deliberately using sharp object to cut you just to have access to you, that's not true. That's absolutely
Now, the
not
thing
true
is,
possible.
I will say this again.
And then,
I'll say this again.
okay,
Because you cannot do it doesn't mean another person cannot do it. I was watching a documentary a few months ago where there's a certain individual who is sexually attracted to organs. Now, when he's intimate with someone, when he is, dating someone, when it's time, what he does is cut you open and like he literally kills you and harvests your organs. That is what entices him sexually. That's why I said you can only speak for yourself, you cannot speak for another person. That's
Okay.
just it.
it's good that, don't forget that that was raising false alarm, which of
Mm.
course in our Nigerian context
That's
is
why I'm
punishable.
asking, do you think that this whole psychosocial psychological factors, do you think that it should be considered when dealing with cases as false alarm and sexual assault? Because sometimes when people rape people, now let's come back to an actual rape scene. When people rape people and you hear things like, oh, he's actually depressed or she's depressed, she's having mental issues. Do you think that that should even be a factor and that should hinder them from actually suffering from the consequences of what they've done?
No, that cannot be a kind of a fact to actually hinder the entire process. No, the fact is there that, yeah, they will have to test your brain, your head. They'll check if it is water that is there or if it is something like real brain that is there. Yeah, it's just like if somebody beats a traffic light. Do you understand? If you beat a traffic light, you're supposed to,
Imagine
yeah.
beating a traffic light and your defense that you were blind. How were you now driving?
So if you beat a traffic light, the right thing to be done is once you're arrested, it's not an immediate fine immediately. They have to go and check your brain to see if it is working. Do you understand? So that is how it
Or
should
your
be.
eyes.
So if somebody actually raise alarm that, oh, I have been raped, the first thing they need to do is to check your head if your head is functioning well. Now don't forget that people have raised false alarm and to the detriment of another. Let me share with you what happened yesterday in my streets. A particular lady was shouting, Tifo, 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 Tifo. And trust me, if you were to be in that kind of place where we have all of those kind of bad guys and all of that, man, the first guy that came out with an object would have spanked this guy's head off. Jonas, just yesterday. And then, just in conclusion, what we find out was that he never stole anything. This guy actually, they had just this man got him pregnant, had children from him, but they have not legally married. So the man usually used to go there, carry the children without the woman's knowledge and all of that. So maybe fears that, oh, this
We're
man
talking
might
about
want to
man
go
and a
and
man.
do you
Is that what we're
understand?
talking about here?
Eh?
A man and a man.
A man and a woman. That's what I'm
Okay,
talking about. So the
okay.
woman was now shouting, "Oh, Tivo, Tivo," just for people to catch the guy. And I said, now you're raising false alarm. What if these officers were not also following immediately and they got there immediately?
And
What
acted on
if?
impulse.
Do you understand? So what if all those guys that came up immediately, have lynched this guy, and then coming to realize that
He was
he didn't
innocent.
steal? Not like this is just a kind of a family issues that should be solved behind, and all of that.
Let's
So
take
it means
let's take this message
Okay.
first. It says, "Good morning, guys. My name is Stella from Atimbo.
okay.
While mental health factors are important, they shouldn't completely excuse false allegations.
You
There
understand?
should be accountability to protect the integrity of the justice system and genuine victims."
Okay.
That's where my concern is, genuine victims. Because at the end of the day, right, if somebody comes up and raises false alarm, oh, this person raped me, and the authorities now jump into the case and realize that you were not raped. When somebody is actually raped, there's going to be hesitation to actually investigate because they feel like, okay, it's a trend. People don't,
Yeah.
people just want to do it for clout or for
If you
likes
need
on
money, tell
Facebook or
the man you
thereabouts.
need money. If you need something, just be open. Tell somebody I need this. If the person doesn't, you walk away. Simple. Like that's how I am. Okay. If I need something and you're not comfortable, walk away. Simple. So, and then just like you said, I can't compare myself with people out there, but for you out there, look, when you hear people raise alarm of something, ask questions. Ask questions. A lot of persons, the moment you just hear, oh, Tifo, or this person have, the next thing when you come, you start hitting and all of that. No, you shouldn't do that. You have to ask questions. We're able to ask questions. What actually happened? And the guy said something, and the police officers, know you're understanding that, oh, the young guys already in the streets, we're already ready to, and he now said, look, this is not it. And I have to echo my voice that, look, this is not something, this guy, nobody touched him, nobody even pins, hits or even touched the guy. Nobody even came close after everyone surrounded the guy. So I think it's quite important for people to understand that, look, when something happens, you have to be very sincere. If something never happens, don't raise any false alarm. If you need money, tell somebody you need money. Go to the streets, sell water, buy something, sell granite, do anything. Do you
Okay, we
understand?
have another message. It says, Good morning, Vine. My name is Samuel, texting from Ikbobasi.
Okay.
No, mental health consideration should not overshadow accountability. If someone knowingly fabricated a rape allegation, they can destroy reputations, careers, and lives. Failing to prosecute sends the wrong message that such actions carry little consequences. Okay, I understand what Samuel is saying.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we always preach about accountability. Now, you did something that, I consider as misleading, because you put out a rape case on social media, and social media is a global village, right?
Of course.
A lot of people are seeing these things, and at the end of the day, when that case is investigated, it turns out to be false. Now, if another person now comes up and now says, "Oh, I was raped," and puts it on social media, nobody will believe them, because they felt like, okay, we saw the last rape case, and it turns out that that case was a false alarm, was a false rape case. They might be hesitant to help you when you need help urgently, and this cases like this has a way of putting genuine victims in harm's way, because you might be raped and you are calling for people's attention, or you're calling for help, and people are not helping you because they believe that you're lying because of past experiences. So I don't think mental health or psychosocial factors should come to play when dealing with cases like this, because you are fully aware of what you did. You were not hallucinating whatsoever. You were fully aware of what you did. Okay. You fabricated a story and published it on social media. So let's say that you were hallucinating. You did not forget to post it on maybe in your family group
or your church platform.
Church group. You were conscious enough to post it on social media for every other person to see. That goes to show you that you knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Let's not hide under mental illness or psychosocial factors to actually to prevent people from facing the consequences of their action. Every action, and that's one thing we need to understand, every action has consequences, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
And you should be able to stand and face the consequences of whatever action that you take, because when we use mental health as a guise to shield people from facing the consequences of their action, it just shows that anybody can do anything and blame it or frame it on mental illness. You can kill somebody and say, "Oh, I'm mentally unstable, or I am depressed. That's why I killed the person," and that's a justifiable reason. That it's obviously not a justifiable reason. So I don't think mental health, mental illness, or psychosocial factors should come to play when
especially
dealing with sensitive cases like this.
Especially now that hunger is in the land. A lot of persons are very hungry. They have not seen food to eat, and even the food they eat safe, it is not nutritious. And the next thing you go and do something and say, and
because I was hungry.
Automatically your brain will not function well. And by the time they are going to carry test on your head, they'll be like, "Oh, true, something was wrong before you committed." It's a lie. You will have to face the consequences of the law. So I think that is what it should be. When people raise false alarm or if something happened, investigation should be carried out. People should refrain from hitting, or physically abusing,
or even
the
verbally,
accused, and all of that, and stop posting things. I keep saying about this that I think I'm one person who do not really find so much reasons as to why they are even monetizing, our social media platforms. I think that is where a lot of persons. I've seen a lot of a friend that is already depressed because she keep posting and posting and posting, and guess what? It's just $0.001 and something like that. Like, and you see, keep posting and posting. Look, this content of a thing, I think we have to, if I have my way, we'll have to reduce it. Okay,
Draw the
damn.
line.
But to the detriment of those who are genuinely actually doing what they're supposed to do to earn from social media because of the good works they are doing. Do you understand? So I think it's quite sad and pathetic that at this point in time, a lot of persons are doing this to the detriment of, just like the person said, you defame another person, spoil the reputations of these persons, you begin to do all manner of things against this other person. You deep down, this is what I was telling. We were talking about the other day, that sometimes you commit a crime and you know that this thing you have done it. Do you understand? You know the truth, though. You know the truth, but you just want people to make you feel like, that's it. But you, deep down, you know that you have done this thing or you have not done this thing. So I think it's quite sad that most person, because of content and all of that, they'll be dragging themselves to this particular, level, because it's sad. It's really, really sad.
Let's
if you
take
ask
this
me.
message. It says, "My name is Ofyong from Palm Street. False accusations undermine the credibility of genuine survivors.
Okay.
When proven, fabricated claims go unpunished. Real victims may face greater skepticism when reporting sexual assaults, making it harder for them to get justice." Same thing that we are saying over and over and over again.
Yeah.
When an actual victim, comes to report a case of sexual assault, nobody takes them seriously. Even if they are eventually
They say,
taken
"I beg,
seriously,
go, I beg,
there's
no be the same
hesitation.
thing."
That's the problem.
Eh.
There's hesitation because normally things like that, when you report it, everybody jumps into it immediately. But when people are pretending to be sexually assaulted, and the cases of pretense keeps growing, when real survivors now come, when real victims now come and report the cases, nobody is swinging into action immediately. They're just dragging feet and trying to investigate if actually what you're saying is true, whereas it's something you're supposed to jump into action immediately. Please, by all means, there's really no point trying to fabricate any story or trying to lay claims that that they are not true. It's pointless. It's really, really pointless. There are people that out there that every day they are sexually assaulted by one person or the other. But when you actually say things like this, when you come out to make false claims, you undermine their own story, because when they come and tell their story, nobody believes them. But even if they believe them eventually, they might not believe them immediately because of other experiences that they had. And as a matter of fact, it also has a way of denting other people's reputation. When this thing happened, I saw a lot of comments: men this, men that, men this, men that, men are this, men are that, men are this, men are that. Now, one person told a lie, and the entire male gender was thrown under the bus. Everybody had opinions about how a man is this, how a man is that. Whereas this lady sat in the comfort of her home and actually fabricated the story and posted it on social media. Now, nobody is criticizing her for telling such a very ridiculous lie. Nobody's criticizing her whatsoever. Now, the government of Ogun State have said that she should be put in a rehabilitation facility, and she should be monitored. Well, at the end of the day, our opinions can now supersede that of the Ogun State government. But what we are saying is, at the end of the day, some actions should face its due consequences.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying at the end of the day. But anyway, that's much can take on the conversation of the day segment. But before we go, let's have our last words and the quote of the day. Now, the quote for the day is: "The strongest people are not those who never fail, but those who rise every time they do." The strongest people are not those who never fail, but those who rise every time they do. Now, succeeding is not about never failing, or being strong is never failing, or never being afraid. Being strong is falling and getting up. Being strong is falling and picking yourself up. Being strong is failing and trying again over and over and over and over. That is what makes you strong. That's what makes you successful. It's not a situation where you fall today and you give up. You fail today and you give up. No, persistence, consistency is very important in building success. Well, that's much can take on the morning bus show today. But before we go, let's have our last words. Thompson, what are your last words before we go?
Like I've always said, don't forget that you're investing today. So pay your fee, do your necessary registrations, and be the best that you can always be at all times. Volunteer. Look for ways to volunteer. Okay, look for ways to do something. Even if it's granite, sell. Even if it's
Something
kpakpa,
if I
sell.
sell groundnuts, will
Even
you
if it's
buy?
water. I used to
If
buy
I
water now. I
if
used to buy
I sell
granuts.
if I sell groundnuts and come to you now, would you buy it?
I no go buy your granuts. Now for
Okay.
me, oh,
Okay.
sell anything you want to sell. Sell clothes, sell anything, shoes, sell anything you want to sell, sell. But don't sell our school. But however, and from me to you out there, don't forget to elevate your morning and feel your success.
All right, that's much can take today in the morning, but sure, it has been an interesting ride. We do this with you every weekdays from 7 till 10 o'clock right here on Unico 103.5 FM Calabar across the state, Nigeria. You can follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook, we are Unico Radio International. On Instagram, TikTok, and X, we are Unico Radio. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Vine_Henshaw. Vine is spelled VYNE_Henshaw. So like come away again tomorrow, same time, same station, to ensure that you try your best to be a good person, be kind to one another. Kindness is something that has become extinct in our society today. So ensure that you're kind to the next person, ensure that you wear a smile, and ensure that you try your best to be the best version of yourself. Good morning and have an amazing day ahead. I'll leave you in the hands of Yemi Alade. This one says Johnny.